Hello guys, and welcome to another React with, I have to scroll down, Illuminati? The explosive downfall of a content mill. I don't know what a content mill is, but it's by Joon, and it's a documentary suggested by Wife9 in the Discord React suggestion channel that I have going on. Of course, YouTube's doing its thing, deciding that it's the arbitrator of fact and everything correct in the world, and making me scroll down so it could teach me about the Illuminati, an organization that has, like, I'm assuming nothing to do with whatever this video is about. All right, intro rant over. Let's go.
Dissonance. It is this word that encapsulates not just how everything went wrong, but also why Blair, or the channel Illuminati, was doomed from the start.
I don't even know what that means.
Her channel is one part efficient businesswoman and one part unstable, vengeful manipulator. This
It's like every content creator.
mixture of image was so conflicted, a single tweet was all that was needed to spark a rapid chain of events that revealed the secret long history of a channel that was believed to have no significant personality. Interest then shifted in covering her extensive list of wrongdoings.
Wait, what does that mean? No significant personality. What does that mean?
Illuminati situation.
The accumulated viewership of such was so substantial that it surpassed her once phenomenally successful channel that once aimed at exposing seeding companies and individuals. She responded with a lawsuit, and her viewership responded with not existing.
If it isn't entirely obvious going into this, by the way, I have no idea who the hell this is. Never heard of her, not for a day in my life. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Since then,
it's gonna be a long hour.
An endless stream of videos covering Blair,
Wonder,
the people exposing her, and her lawsuit. With these coming to a conclusion, this video will attempt to showcase the full downfall of Illuminati.
Honestly, I feel like that intro told me so little.
But first,
we didn't even need
my heritage and took one of their DNA kits. I'm actually more French than German. Would you look at that?
You're probably American.
The kit I got. You just rub this swab along the inside of your cheek for 30 to 60 seconds. And I guess right now it's just a waiting game. I'm not really sure what to expect. I do have a German background.
I like how little he has. I like how little he has. This is a nice unfurnished room. Very clean looking too.
A lot of Mexican. I don't know. It feels like the results.
All right, if you're watching this and you're from anywhere other than America, can you please tell me if you actually sit down and talk about yourself like this in any context at all? Because I think Americans are the only ones that call themselves everything that is not American. And they'll say, oh yeah, I'm like 2% Irish, 5% Chinese, 3% black, not Kenyan, just black. Does anybody not from America do this?
Be really straightforward with that.
I feel like it's very American.
I should mention a cool thing about My Heritage is if you look at its privacy policy.
Oh yeah, this is an ad.
I forgot. Right there that My Heritage has never sold or licensed genetic data or health data and will never do so in the future. My Heritage has this neat feature that allows you to enhance and color restore photos. Okay, so the results are in.
There's music. You are. It says at the top, 45.4% Mexico. You are almost half Mexico. Damn, you're a big boy. You're almost half Mexico. Why do I feel like that's copyrighted?
Oh. Yeah, I guess I'm not really German. I'm actually more French.
You're American.
Would you look at that?
Probably.
My Heritage can also
sound
match
American.
your DNA to others, as it shows here.
You don't need to pay for this bullshit. Just listen to his accent, and you'll pretty much figure out what he is.
I have 6,200 DNA matches. This is kind of a family finder of sorts. I have my grandparents' first cousin.
Now, this part is interesting.
Second cousin.
This part is actually interesting.
From Match DNA.
This is useful.
My Heritage has a promotion right now. Click the link in the description box or scan the QR code. And use the coupon code JTK to receive a 10% discount when ordering the kit. Sponsor over, back to the video.
Look, I've said it in a previous video, and I'll say it again. If you ever see me advertise anything like this, I think I said it about VPNs, but I'll say it about this too. If you ever see me, ever do a sponsor on one of these, just assume they paid me enough. Because I think this shit is so stupid.
In creator space, there are channels
so
that grow rapidly after posting a few videos. These tend to fill underserved niches or create superior content within their genres.
Okay.
Illuminati was not one of these channels.
Oh.
It is not entirely clear what Blair, the creator and host of the channel, did prior to 2019. As her footprint was so insignificant, the earliest Wayback Machine capture of her channel dates back to the start of 2019. However, her channel was established May 9, 2013, and there is evidence that she posted between that time. Like this 2017 collaboration video, that while it is only a collaboration through the creation of videos made on a similar topic, it does show a few seconds of Blair and links to her channel, the same channel she still uses. This also reveals she made a genre of video known
So I deleted all the original videos I made on the original channel that I had. There's over 200 videos, which it was the channel that got me YouTube chat monetization. What is it? Partner is the one that got me Partner. And you know, I got Partner as a kid. You need like an ID these days, I think. I got it as a kid, dude. They partnered me. I was like 11. It's crazy. And I'm still, even though I deleted all that, I'm still in a collab, at least one. I don't remember if there were others from that era of me that was featured on the YouTube homepage before there was an algorithm. And I could look it up and find it to this day. And it is the most like little boy presentation of myself ever. It's awful.
As story
it's like right before my voice got deeper, so like it's high pitched. I'm just like
videos. This means she not only deleted her side of this collaboration, but also all of her videos prior to 2019.
I mean, I've done
Yet,
that.
a few have been archived through other means. The reason these have been removed becomes apparent upon examination.
Girls don't talk about their shit, their poops, right? Well, I'm gonna talk about my poops because this is a story about poop.
Larger chunks of this video cannot be shown uninterrupted as Blair has copyright-struck channels posting it in the past.
Why?
And it remains in the YouTube Content ID system. The crux is, while on a date, she clogged her toilet.
It was huge. I'm looking at it and I don't even see the hole for the toilet.
Blair's storytime videos are videos where the creator tells of wild happenings in her private life are dated at least back.
She looks like we reacted to a video about some lady named Amy Schumer, and she looks just like her.
2015.
We decided to go out for a movie date, and the movie we're gonna see is that new James
I think it's just the chubbiness though.
Bond movie Spectre that's out.
Never heard of it.
In the United States premiered November 2015. It was around this time that Sarah J. Warren also premiered.
Sarah J. Warren is unapologetically feminist, and if they don't like it, then I would love to drink their overprivileged male tears.
What'd I do?
Sarah J. Warren was created to star in Tommy C's satirical news show Get to the Point. Tommy played the role of a sexist alcoholic that was kicked out of mainstream media. Blair's character, or what she portrayed.
So far, I haven't heard of anyone or anything that has been mentioned in this video, like even for a second. I'm just waiting for something to anchor myself onto so I can have some kind of idea what's happening.
Was clear even just through the name.
She was sort of the modern woman, annoying SJW.
And her name was Sarah J. Warren. SJW.
And she came up with that herself.
Despite the effort and collaboration of other creatives, Tommy states that the project was...
So is Illuminati Sarah J. Warren? Is this the same person?
...a failure. As such, none of Blair's works gained purchase, until she began producing a simple yet lucrative style of video late 2018.
I'm confused.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. It's Blair, or the Illuminati, and I'm so glad to have you guys here today with me on another wild ride through the r/anti-MLM subreddit. I think I can kind of sort of tell this is a favorite amongst our fans here on the channel.
These videos are of Blair reading what are presumably the
MSM is mainstream media. MLM. Main... I don't know.
top post of the subreddit that is the subject of the video. Being that Reddit has a function where one can easily sort by the top, hence most popular post, all she had to do was read through these and add some commentary. She often interspliced some stock footage and evolved the videos to include her avatar that struck different poses depending on what is being said.
What's MLM?
This is a style found in many communities across YouTube.
Wait, isn't that just a VTuber? How old is this video? It's 2 months. Isn't it just a VTuber?
Being that the head of her avatar
That's
is
a
the Eye of
VTuber.
Providence that is tied to many things such as secret societies, it is a nod to her channel name Illuminati
Oh God, help
that
me.
differs in spelling to the group by the word naughty as to be disobedient and has an additional I on both the start and the end of the name.
Yeah,
This avatar
it's very like mid 2000s shit. Like none of this surprises me. Like
turned out to be quite convenient as she more and more began to shift focus to the r/anti-MLM subreddit.
what's MLM?
MLM, or multi-level marketing, is often referred to as a pyramid scheme, and where one recruits unwitting subjects to sell often overpriced and difficult to sell products. The pyramid shape comes into play as a share of the revenue goes to the recruiter, which is a point of the scheme, as recruiters of recruiters receive cuts from all below them.
So
and
like
key
getting
win is
others
sit
to
on the
buy
top
crypto.
layers of the pyramid. Blair had been covering this subreddit
After
so
you
much
make it.
that it had its own separate category on her YouTube homepage. Being that those who join MLMs are often desperate, ignorant, or foolish, their tactics mimic these traits. So the focus
What?
of Blair's videos were more so on the absurdity of tactics used to sell products. This was her path to success.
I also want to give like a quick little shout out to like the 150 people who have
This is
all
music.
followed me within like the past week. I don't know what is happening there.
Blair's success
It's such
involved
happy music. Like I feel like if I could probably find that somewhere in like Toontown, the MMO. But I mean, just looking at the titles and hearing everything else she said so far, she doesn't seem like a happy person.
all else is attributed to a rapid rate of uploads. In March,
Rampant.
her channel had jumped to 96,000 subscribers.
Woo!
Here, she would upload 2 videos daily, largely consisting of subreddit coverage.
Ooh.
In this screenshot, she abandoned the larger
If you
focus
don't stream, that's not too bad. I mean, that's if I didn't live stream, I would make 2 videos a day. If I did not live stream, because right now, as of time of recording, I'm 5 months ahead on videos. I could put that to 2 a day, but like then, like a lot of those were done all at once. That's not like self-sustaining. But if I didn't stream, I would do that.
on MLMs
2
to
videos a
shift
day.
popular Reddit themes. However, this screenshot in May shows that her MLM coverage was once
an
again
MLM?
gaining prominence on her channel.
MLM.
And by August 2019, as per the bottom of this
MLM.
archive page, she had made 36 videos on MLMs and made a video dissecting what an MLM is, the trailer for her channel. But she
I really like this word, MLM.
was not the only one growing from covering Reddit. There was The Click, One Topic, and r/. While many channels exist in this genre,
That child is dying, so what? What the fuck?
these 3 are unique to
Oh,
Blair's
God.
story in that some would become friends,
Help me.
but eventually would all take on an adversarial role. r/, as many Reddit channels did in 2019, grew tremendously, yet few as fast. Though he had only started uploading in January of 2019, by February he was getting over 30 million views a month. This aroused suspicion.
It's a lot.
Blair during this time took it upon herself to point out the suspicious growth. Without much more to go on than this almost unheard of growth, the drama died down. But what remained was the start of a history. One of hypocrisy, manipulation, and revenge. Her actions and her responses
It said, "I'm a
repeat on
nosy
wholly
bitch, so
different
let me
people."
see.
This begins with Azothan's video.
I feel that I must state up front that for the last 2.5
another
years,
VTuber.
I was involved in a romantic relationship with the YouTuber known as Illuminati.
Did you just say the last 100 years?
Last 2.5 years, I
Oh,
was
bro, I'm literally insane. Like, what the hell's going on?
involved in a romantic relationship with the YouTuber known as Illuminati. This relationship ended recently.
Azothan released this
Wait,
video on April 19th,
why are you talking about
2019, in where he admits to secretly recording a phone call with Blair. It was not illegal, as Colorado, in terms of calls, is a one-party consent state.
I have
What the hell does that mean?
seen your fucking Twitter and the bullshit you've been spewing on there.
The harassment,
Whoa.
You fucking asshat.
the
Oh.
abuse.
Because God knows why, because you're bitter about a fucking breakup because your cash cow fucking left you. Like, fuck off.
Just can't go on anymore.
Azathan fails to paint a clear picture of his conflict with Blair. He claims Blair is threatening legal action if he were to make a video on her, but this conflicts with the intent the text message is expressing.
Threatening legal action, were I to make a video about her activities in any way. And you can see that despite violating no laws, making no threats to dox her,
her name is Pringles,
making no claims of any illegal activity whatsoever, she was already willing to threaten prosecution.
Azathan has claimed to share the audio of the call.
So what's wrong with that? Like, I don't think it's illegal to say I'm gonna sue you
anonymously. Why this matters is because, apparent by a second video Azathan released, the full call contained private information. The release of the entire call could be why Blair claims Azathan was threatening to dox her. Back to the first video, it turns out that Blair was in contact with someone threatening to dox Azathan.
A Discord user known as Cracker Snatcher, who had made threats of violence against
Cracker Snatcher? This reads like, this obviously reads like murder, obviously.
Me, as well as attempting to locate and disseminate my location and name.
Why your family? Why your family? What do they have to do with anything?
I was saddened to be informed by my friends that she had joined a Warcraft 3 Discord server solely for the purpose of providing and exchanging personal information with this extremely dangerous...
They want boys to be gay. They want girls to reject men. They send them to war, to prison. They want you to party all day and do drugs so your families die because you can be, just because you, it doesn't mean you have to. What the fuck is this? What is this? What does this even have to do with anything else in the chat? Like, what is this?
An unstable individual.
This claim, at least by the evidence,
this guy's crazy,
screen, is not entirely substantiated, with the conversation being about boys being gay and rejecting men and going to war or prison and dying and doing drugs and truth-seeking and, of course, saving the world. From Blair's side, it is only clear she wanted to speak to this individual, but the contents of the private conversation are not shown, and thus there is no proof, besides anecdotal, that she was attempting to deliver Azathan's docs. While their conflict did not lead to much due to the lack of strong evidence or the general disinterest towards Azathan's video, there are claims that made over time would ring more and more true.
An early friendship with Fresh helped mold her content, but also led her to believe that anyone else utilizing that general framework was a copycat. I listened to endless...
I still don't know what's happening. We're like 11 and a half minutes in. I still don't understand what happened, why it's happening. What the hell's going on?
Rants about Misery Box, deservedly.
What's a content mill?
Even Voicey here, being nothing more than mediocre mimics of her.
And why is it capitalized? Because like until I started recording this, I didn't even see the word A, letter, word. I just saw this capitalized and I thought it was like a person, but I guess it's not.
And Fresh, which leads us to the original step she took into the commentary community. Her call-out video against
the what? Commentary community? Is that a thing? That doesn't sound like a thing. Why is everything a community? Why does everything have a community? It doesn't make any sense.
R/, claiming that he was using viewbots. What fueled this was her anger at being so quickly outpaced by another channel.
Blair later deleted her video on R/, but the jealousy of competing channels outperforming her or merely existing in proximity would remain. With a person so reputation-minded, one that believes reputation is molded with intent instead of forming passively, Blair knew she had weaknesses and quickly sought to remove them.
That sounds like a psyop.
Her history as Sarah J. Warren greatly conflicted with her new image.
Okay, lady, you need different glasses. These ones do not, they don't match your aesthetic.
Image of a compassionate, investigative creator who sought to expose the wrongdoings of companies.
Yeah, some of them were privated. As per Blair's request a couple months ago when she was going to sue Keemstar for saying she had an STD. So I cooperated and I...
You got a crazy, broadcaster EQ on that mic. Like, holy... Woo!
Privated the videos, but before she left, she deleted the private videos too. So that, to clear up some of the confusion on.
Tommy explains how Blair still had access to his channel and why now only short clips of her time as Sarah J. Warren exist online.
Okay, so
this
she
is the story of Tommy and friends,
the Sarah person, but like we haven't learned anything about the Sarah. Who is what? I don't get it. What is Sarah? What is this? Who is that other than Blair? But like, who is Blair? What's going on?
Bees. Something he took offense to, even though he partook in verbalizing similar comments towards others. This is the stated intent, one that makes it appear that she disassociated through compassion and not to hide her history.
What is disassociated?
And it worked for the time being.
No, she's not too big for her britches. She's fucking stupid. She's not cut out for this. That's something we can definitely say from knowing her behind the scenes.
Yeah, because she freaks out when she makes these videos.
Anything that takes any sort of like stress, any stress comes down on her, anything that
Is that a child? Sounds like a teenager.
takes brain cells is where she just fucking falls apart.
Blair, in her efforts to remove her history, had only added more to it. While she had succeeded in wiping those old videos, these were replaced with Tommy C's testimony that they existed alongside her underhanded actions to remove them. What's more, she was now attempting to remove coverage of this.
Shit goes down, we know about it, we talk about it, and then all of a sudden, I get a strike this morning on a video that was entitled, "Strike This Bitch."
Entitled.
Blair, as later revealed, had not hit this video with a copyright strike. Rather, she informed an artist.
Strike this bitch or strike this bitch? Because if it's the second one, I guess she did.
Artist whose work was used to create the thumbnail for said video, and they struck it. This back and forth lasted for several months, yet coverage of her interactions seldom gained purchase, even as the fans' new claims largely went ignored.
So here's Aslan's tweet right here. When Illuminati told me that as a stripper, yes, I'm reading that correctly, she took clients into the champagne room and would threaten them with violence, lie to the bouncers about being molested, and have them beat the person up if they didn't give her more money. Should have been the last red flag.
Yeah, that's
Blair had.
That's woo. That's all kinds of fucked up. I didn't even think. Here's my as a male, I never even thought that somebody could even think of getting away with that. But I guess any girl could probably get away with that, huh? It would actually be really easy, wouldn't it? I never even thought of that as a possibility. Jesus. I was born on the wrong side.
Made enemies within the commentary
That's crazy.
community. These sour ties hardly affected her new ventures and relationships, as by January 2020, she had a new partner known as Oz Media, who was also creating similar videos covering subreddits. Blair, Oz Media, and a few other channels.
I'm a little confused. Does she cover subreddits, or does she cover MLMs? I don't know what's going on.
Such as The Click, Wonderstruck, and One Topic had joined in creating Sad Milk, a collaboration channel.
It doesn't look
more
sad,
channels, but these are the most relevant to Blair. The content consisted of the group reacting to memes and the like while in a group call. As Sad Milk grew, Blair began shifting her own videos towards the ever-popular video essay genre, though she stuck with
the fuck is a video essay genre? What is that? I still don't know anything that has been mentioned.
The main theme of coverage of MLMs, her videos were hardly limited in topic. While her Reddit videos had her at 2.5 million views a month, her video essays doubled that. In September, as seen in the Social Blade graph, her channel had lost 34 million views, likely due to the mass deletion of her Reddit videos.
At first I was like, subs, and I was like, oh, that's so much, and then it said views. I was like, oh, you got that much less, and I saw I was in the negative on the left side too, and I was like, wait, how do you lose views into the negative? That doesn't make sense. I guess that's how it interprets the deletion of videos.
New genre brought in far more interest.
Today I learned.
The consequences of this shift were large, but not entirely understood until several years later. Both the success and issues of such are boiled down to her rate of uploads. While nowhere near the pace of 2 videos a day she once had, Blair would still upload 3 to 5 videos weekly. While some channels opt to delve into subjects to get a unique perspective, refine the script, and fact-check all the claims multiple times, Blair chose to do none of this. Her videos were laden with mistakes and constantly removed. Comparing this Wayback Machine screenshot of June 17th, 2020 to the videos found on the channel shows that 5 of these 30 videos had been removed. However, there are videos on our channel with massive mistakes that still stand. A different possibility for the removal could be copyright claims. In fact, June 2020 marks the earliest, if not the first time, she was somewhat accused of, not exactly copyright, but rather plagiarism.
Coincidences happen, and I'm sure as a larger YouTuber, you're accused of stealing content from people you've never even heard of or seen before, so I get it if this message comes across that way.
That was creator Cruel World Happy Mind. On April 23rd, 2020, she released her video on Tyra Banks. Then on May 20, 2020, she released a follow-up. A little over a week after, Blair released her video on Tyra Banks that is suspiciously similar to Cruel World's videos. Viewers informed Cruel World of this, which is when she messaged Blair.
What was that? Oh, okay, that's a pretty good like-dislike ratio. I was like, the green just wasn't as long as I was expecting.
Viewers informed Cruel World of this, which is when she messaged Blair. Nothing came of this, until Blair decided to speak vaguely upon the drama in a podcast. This is that audio.
I'm going to try and keep it vague so I don't mention this person's channel.
Yeah.
All right, but I have a question. Does this matter? Does this matter at all? Like, I still don't know what the hell's happening, but okay, somebody makes a video, and even if it's like it's so close to your video, isn't that what news is? Like, we have 10, 20,000 different newspapers reporting on the same thing and saying all the same information. Isn't that just what news is? How is this any different? We have 20,000 human beings, probably more, that can make a video talking about how and why a sports team is so good, and they could say all the same things. How is this any different?
It's a very small YouTuber, and she DM'd me on Instagram, and she goes, "I'm just really disappointed because you're someone I look up to, and you copied my video, and I want credit." Right? So I didn't know who this person was. So I went to my moderators in my Discord server and I was like, hey, I screenshotted the message. I sent it to them.
Even if she did copy it, it doesn't really hit me the right way when someone says, hey, I look up to you and now I'm really disappointed in you because you did something similar to me and I want you to credit me. What?
And I said, do you know, is this a YouTuber? Can you guys like tell me who this is or what they're even talking about? Because I had no idea.
Yeah.
They come back to me. It's this small channel. I'll just say less than 50,000 subscribers at the time.
I'm a small channel.
And she sources me. She uses me as a source in her videos, for one. So I found it kind of funny.
What does that mean?
Blair's saving grace is she did not mention Cruel World by name.
Obviously, the first thing I did before even looking at her videos is I went to look at her sourcing list, because I think that's really important, is what
is a sourcing list?
And she had 5 sources. You know, I have to use a pastebin document because
what
I have
a pastebin document?
To 70 sources per video. I don't play around. But she had like 5 sources. You know, one was Wikipedia, one was BuzzFeed, one was like TMZ or something.
Oh my god.
The most, you know, oh god.
Yeah.
There's someone gay in this call. Why do you need this accent? You didn't. I'm waiting for someone to explain to me why they changed their accents. Like, is this intentional? Because they don't all do it. So it's got to be like an individual choice. Like, hey, I want to start speaking like this. Why?
And those sources
what is
are
the benefit?
Okay for a reference on certain things. Like I use Wikipedia as a starting point.
These statements are false. Cruel World does not cite Wikipedia a single time in either of her videos.
Maybe she deleted it? Or maybe this bitch is just lying. I don't know. I still don't know what's happening.
Going to a Wayback Machine screenshot of Wikipedia of May 2020 and cross-referencing the sources in the video's descriptions shows that not one of Cruel World's sources are actually found on Wikipedia. Moreover, though Blair inflates her sourcing list to averaging 30 to 70, it often hovers around 20. And looking at Blair's sources for her Tyra Banks video revealed...
Yeah, we got a little exaggeration. We got a little bit. Just a little.
Not only her citing Wikipedia, but also citing 4 of the 6 sources found in one of Cruel World's videos. Looking at Cruel World's second video, it has 2 sources. That is, if you did not read. The first link is a link to BuzzFeed, but it was stating that it was Tyra responding to the backlash after Cruel World released the video. This is not a source. Blair is also an avid user of Wikipedia. The first available video on her channel about MLMs lists Wikipedia as nearly 1/3 of its sources. Even with this ease of information, she still gets information wrong.
One of the earliest MLMs, or what we consider currently to be an MLM started all the way back in 1934, is a company called Nutrilite.
The top of the wiki states that while the products were being developed in 1934,
I've heard of them. I've heard of them. Oh my god, it's the first thing in the video I've heard of. Nutrilite. No, wait. No, I've heard of Pedialyte. Is that the same thing? Maybe not. Okay, well, all right.
Paragraph clarifies that it was not until 1939 that it was renamed Nutrilite. This holds true.
Yeah, no, I haven't heard of it.
Incorporated as found on California's Secretary of State website.
We were close.
This is to say that not only is Cruel World not guilty of what Blair is accusing her of.
So is this Cruel World? When did Cruel World come up? I thought this was Tyra. Who's Tyra?
Blair is guilty of almost all of it.
And just gives her opinion on how she feels about things. And I said, you
that's
cannot
what women
believe
do.
for 1 second, ma'am, that I am copying you. You are giving an opinion. I don't do that. In my opinion.
Everybody gives opinions. Everybody.
Tyra realized what it really means to be an MLM and the legal hoops you have to jump through.
It hardly ends here.
You're looking at how I outline my videos. You're trying to replicate that. Whoa. And then when I cover a topic that you've already covered, I guess, then you say that I'm copying you. But I was like, honey, I've been doing the same thing. Like, that's not my fault.
Blair did not cover Tyra Banks before Cruel World. Furthermore, Blair mentions the stealing of an outline.
If someone ever, like, stabs me to death, I hope they call me honey.
An outline is the foundation of
the video.
That's
a weird thing to say.
It's its skeleton that is filled in. Comparing Blair's video to Cruel World's first video shows some stark commonalities in how they're outlined. It is less about the similar information that appears, but how often it is presented in a similar sequence.
She has a ton of controversy surrounding America's Next Top Model, and I've got quite a few issues with her, really.
The company Tyra Beauty was, of course, flawlessly launched through an America's Next Top Model episode.
In 2012, Banks told anyone and everyone that she graduated from Harvard Business School, posing for pictures with her supposed diploma. But as Jezebel, another news source, reported, she was in fact graduated from the Owner-President Management Program at Harvard, a non-degree granting certificate course at Harvard.
Okay, I just had to talk about this. In this video and also online, Tyra talks about her Harvard Business School graduation. But this is not the Master's in Business Administration degree that Tyra received. In fact, she only attended a course called the Owner-President Management Extension Program. That's not part of the school's
She sounds like she just woke up, you know? Or like she has a cold.
Agree.
The why I started.
So far, if this is a case of like I took your homework and changed the words, it's kind of an impressive amount of changing of the words. Actually, like I never would have connected these things.
Tyra Beauty commercial or recruitment ad or whatever.
Who the fuck is Tyra?
Want to call it is a classic
I'm
MLM
so lost.
stuff.
But the most upsetting video of all of this, I have to say, is Tyra Banks's video of why
But like this one's kind of hot.
I created Tyra Beauty.
It could be a coincidence that many of these videos were presented following one another.
Kinda.
But
Sorta.
videos like these can be presented vastly different. It can start chronologically, starting from Tyra mentioning her mom, or even customer reviews to foreshadow the disappointment. This is all suspicious considering, according to Cruel World, Blair did not post her sources until confronted.
There were no sources on this person's video. The only thing it had in the description was in parentheses, sources coming soon.
On February 6, 2021, Cruel World...
Honestly, I don't really see the sources. Like for a YouTube video, like if someone just makes a video, you don't need sources. Right? Like, obviously. Like, school requires sources. Like, a lawsuit requires sources, right? This is like a YouTube video. I don't know. I don't even know. What is a video essay? What's going on?
This in a video. Also,
this is Corona times.
Anonymous, Cruel World summarizes the happenings up to this point, giving Blair.
I think everybody's just stuck home and they have like too little to do. You know, I really like shirts that do this. I don't know why. Like where they just like don't fit like that, like proper. I don't know. Is it a shape? I don't know.
Benefit of the
is there
doubt,
a name for this?
Writing off these similarities.
Those are so cool.
However,
maybe like I think I think the thing like I don't know why anyone likes like ripped jeans, but I think this is probably a similar thing
on the podcast
because this was like a badly fitting shirt.
Existed, her tone changed.
This is where it gets really weird and really shocking.
Is this the same person as before that I said was sort of hot? Because it looks like a completely different person now.
This person makes another Instagram story where they say something along the lines of alluding to the fact that I'm untrustworthy because my profile shows up on a website that's supposedly about buying YouTube bots.
What? The indirect nature of this confrontation thus far has made this confusing. The lack of sources make it difficult to follow up on Cruel World's claims. But what she does present is enough to piece together how this ended. First, Blair was alluding to doing a debunking stream. Then by February 8th, this tension was aired out. It was made clear that Cruel World was talking about Blair and vice versa. Blair, in a message to Cruel World, claims that Cruel World was responsible for ripping the veil of the previously obscured conflict. But Blair extends the olive branch by asking, quote, "Is there some common ground we could find in this?"
Who are these people?
Quote. After a 3-hour-long phone call, the issue was resolved. Blair states she would not go forward with her livestream, and in return, Cruel World would be, quote, removing her part about me and a video she recently did, unquote. This is the video in question, and that section is indeed missing. It is now only found archived through videos dissecting their conflict. This story, the way it was all going on without the knowledge of viewers, only for it to be all revealed and blow up spectacularly, would repeat on a far larger scale. It would involve more people, have far worse claims, and damage virtually all those involved. This upcoming conflict, where Blair is at the center, will not end with reconciliation. This begins with Sad Milk. The channel...
Yeah, I was wondering when this was going to come up again. I still don't know what's going on.
...had progressively taken more effort than it was worth. From a business standpoint, the growth was abysmal in comparison to the individual growth of the channels involved. From a retrospective angle, the channel was the beginning of a long road of suffering for many involved, even past its dissolution. By mid-2020, tensions were rising with its collaborators. There was conflict with deciding editing costs, scheduling times to record made more difficult with different creators living in far different time zones, and then there was Blair who had control in the absence of leadership. The first outward signs of its collapse came in October 2020. Sometime between October 2nd and October 16th.
You know what I hope? I hope that before I die, I can have someone make some sort of expose YouTube video like this on me. Because that would be kind of interesting.
This one topic and the click.
That would be so cool.
List channel members
to just have somebody just analyze you like this and just talk about you for like an hour. That would be awesome.
On the home page. Behind the scenes, a meeting was called to address some of the rising issues. Blair claims to have not wanted to attend due to her frustration with the responsibilities. After joining the meeting regardless of this wish, she eventually shouted at one topic and said something along the lines of, "Shut the fuck up." Woo. One topic left the call due to this outburst. Woo. Then on October 9th, he announced to the group that he was stepping away from the project. The following day, the clique left as well. This was not announced to the public until November 1st, 2020.
That is such like PR speak. It's a great project, but I'm stepping away at this time. Like, who did you get to write that?
Announced the departure of a different member. As the clique will later point out, only 3 hours from this announcement, Blair tweeted, quote, "Casual reminder, pedophilia is never a quote-unquote gray area. It's wrong. If someone you know won't take actions, then they are complicit to the problem," unquote. The clique claims that with Sad Milk retweeting Blair...
Don't show this lady Japanese TV. I watched some Japanese TV and there were like these famous voice actresses on live TV talking about how much they love little boys. I was in shock how it was just normal there.
It stirred up rumors about why they left.
We need reaction videos
was the
to that.
intended effect and is tied to
what was
previously a resolved issue that began in September. This screenshot was of a 19-year-old Discord user stating that they were dating a 13-year-old. This user even states that they got in contact on TeamSpeak, not the Click server, which is where this was all being posted.
I didn't know.
It did not take long for this admission to come to the attention of server mods, who some were also the shared mods of Blair.
I don't even understand how, like, talking to a child is not really that fun. You know, because, like, a lot of them can be retarded because they're children. So I don't even know how you get to this point. I don't get it.
User was banned shortly after and allegedly reported to Discord's
like 12 years old
team.
That's a
In
fucking
message
idiot.
To One Topic, she makes the allegation that the Click knew this was happening. However, the Click alleges that since this was 2 a.m. his time, he was asleep when this was all happening, and woke up to the chaos of what happened, made all the more confusing since the user was already banned. The Click and Blair discussed this, with Blair stating that she was proud of the Click. This brings us back to the tweet Blair had made a month and a half after the events were seemingly resolved. Now Blair was actively trying to harm the Click. In this leaked Discord screenshot, Blair states she is writing a piece about Sad Milk, but it is written from the third person. Quote, I saw the Sad Milk announcement.
That's first person.
Unquote. This is quite strange considering she is the one who wrote said announcement. Strange until it was posted not under Blair's account, but this account that went under Doobie Schmertz. It believes there is a piece of the puzzle missing. With little to no traction following the insinuation Blair had made, this post was attempting to nudge interest towards it. Quote, like, it really looks like, quote-unquote, create a difference.
I don't understand what it means when someone types like this. Like, it's the SpongeBob meme, right? But, like, I understand the SpongeBob meme, but I don't understand when someone uses the SpongeBob meme in just random chatting like this. Like, I don't know. What does this mean? Huh?
This is dumb AF. Blair tweeting about being stabbed in the back, One Topic leaving his
I thought that meant, like,
server,
literally
and then
stabbed
watching
for a second.
so many
I was
of
like,
his
oh my
mods
god.
disappear, and Wonderstruck
That's an
talking about how
escalation.
he hates friends fighting, and even Clicky not streaming as
Who's
much, and deleting
Wonderstruck?
some of his streams and clips. I think something happened, guys.
What's
I
going
think
on?
I figured out what really happened. Unquote. The discovery was that this quote-unquote anonymous user pieced together that Blair saw the Click's older videos and found out that Click had used the R slur. Then goes on to say,
The
quote,
R slur. The R slur. Racist?
As an autist, I was mad he would call a Minecraft zombie that word.
A
Unquote.
racist?
This is the crux of the post, but it's also important to mention it praises Blair. Quote, Blair is a big supporter of the community and awesome. I love her videos about exposing Autism Speaks. I think Blair found out about this
What is
and fought
Autism
with him about it.
Speaks?
Unquote. The user then points to another video of the Click saying the F slur. Quote, I think
The
all
F
Sad
slur?
Milk knows about these videos.
Fuck?
I think he chose not to delete it, and it caused the fight. Unquote.
What is going on?
This is a gross sowing of a conspiracy theory that did not at all reflect what actually happened. The top comment should have clarified how little viewers cared. Quote, Click has said that he was much less open-minded in the past, and considering the fact that these are from 2010, I think he has grown a lot as a person since then. Honestly, while you do bring up a good few points, I don't think we should start a heck ton of rumors about this situation.
Rumors.
I don't want it to end up like it did with Flinders, where people
Who
were
the
making
fuck
theories
is
left and right.
Flinders?
Though unfortunately, with a change this big, it's probably inevitable. Unquote. A second post was made to draw attention to the Click saying the N-word in the past.
Okay, I know
This
that
also
one.
failed to get any traction. And it was later revealed that Blair had also paid someone who goes as Felix the Kit Kat $200 to dig through the raw audio of Sad Milk to find Click using the R word. Seeing how
That's
Redditors were forgiving of the word,
That's a lot of money to just listen through some audio.
considering how long ago he said it, Blair was looking for a more recent example, though her efforts would eventually only harm her own reputation. For the time being, in mid-2021, after the conflict and resolution with Cruel World, while Sad Milk was absent of uploads, it was soon to be considered a dead channel. Blair made new efforts to improve relations with some of the remaining Sad Milk cast. Oz Media
Now
was
the milk
given
is
news
sad.
that they were in a relationship and had moved in together at Oz's new house.
Oh,
The
wait,
other person
what?
of note was Wonderstruck Guy, who moved in shortly after Oz and Blair did. Blair hired Wonder June 7th as an editor with a starting salary of $50,000.
Oh my god. First off, wait, are we saying everybody in this channel is moving in together in the same house? Is that what we're saying? $50,000 just to edit some videos. Jesus Christ.
Was not under Blair's main channel, but her second channel, Illuminati, a channel that mostly hosted clips.
I thought it was like EA, like early access
for live streams. There was not much work for Wonder to do during this period, a fact that displeased both Blair and Wonder. In this mix were plans for Wonder to become a tenant of Blair's, though those never materialized. But the BMW did. One that Oz and Blair paid a significant down payment on and entered into a questionable rent-to-own contract with Wonder. From just June to July, Wonder would not only be fired from his position, but would also lose this car. As Wonder claims, when editing one of Illuminati's videos, his software corrupted due to a faulty GPU. To reach the deadline, he flew back to Texas to get a different computer to finish the job. There was some leeway here in that the deadline was pushed back from July 26th to August 2nd. Or so it seemed, as he was fired July 27th for
the software corrupted due to a faulty GPU. As someone that edits, I don't understand what you're talking about. The software corrupted because of your GPU? That doesn't sound possible. You mean it's just not working right? Well, just turn off the hardware decoding. Why do you need to fly somewhere to fix this?
For not meeting the prior deadline.
What's going on?
This call that I was fired for explicitly not meeting deadlines, which I find highly confusing due to once more I must reiterate that my deadline was August 2nd.
Wonder, with nothing left in Colorado, visited his father in Texas. But now came the issue of what to do with
There's a place in Texas called Piano.
The car.
Oz gave me a set of options as to what I could do with the car, and I picked option 2, where it was agreed I would bring the car back to Colorado, gather my belongings, and I'd pay the value via regular payments, etc.
The contract Wonder signed, though it is disputable whether it was legally binding, stated that the car would reside in Colorado. The word reside, in legal speak, can mean that it is a place that one dwells continuously, a primary residence. So while Wonderstruck and the car were physically in Texas, it could be argued that because Colorado remained his legal residence, that much could also be applied to the car. This matters because Blair sought to repossess the car. And on July 29th, using the embedded GPS and a spare key...
especially because I think as far as the government's concerned, you don't actually reside... Now, don't quote me on this. I think, this is my belief. I believe that the government doesn't consider you as residing somewhere until you spend the largest amount of a taxable year in that location. Or maybe the IRS and other parts of government have a different definition of this. I don't know. What is a household? Because it's not your household.
Flew to Texas and repossessed the vehicle.
That was really weird to learn.
In the middle of the night.
Wait, what?
A spare key, she flew to Texas and repossessed the vehicle in the middle of the night.
Oh. That sounds illegal.
Blair retrieved the vehicle in a suboptimal state. Besides some trash and clothing thrown about, there was physical damage to the glove box latch and a crack on the windshield. The crack was claimed to have been from rogue asphalt propelled from the car in front of him.
Dude, so I moved in real life recently, and just shortly after we got onto the highway, the freeway, I don't know the difference, there was some construction site, and some big, gray looking thing from the construction site was kicked up by a car or something and flew and smashed right into the window up front. It was terrifying. Horrifying. I'm amazed the window didn't break. It looked like a brick.
Also in the car were various valuables, including 2 YouTube play buttons.
4K drone?
Wonder would fight to retrieve his belongings through a demand letter, but his belongings were reportedly thrown away. This marks yet another relationship soured.
So she stole his shit and then deleted them. Well, that's illegal. You can't just take somebody's stuff and throw it away. That's clearly illegal.
Of all the prominent members of the now defunct Sad Milk, Blair was now only on good terms with Oz.
What about Damien? I haven't heard anything about it, Damien.
Then, in December of 2021, they ended their romantic relationship. But they still seemed to remain on good terms. Oz was even working for Blair informally even just 3 months.
I don't understand how that's... How do you end a romantic relationship and stay on good terms? I've never seen that happen, ever.
Months prior to the breakup, which continued as he became an employee. But it turns out not for a good reason. Oz owed Blair money. She allegedly tried to get a custom multi-million-dollar house built with Oz, with him incurring 50% of the deposit and the like in an unwritten ledger owed to her. The kicker is, she canceled the project, meaning she forfeited that deposit, yet held Oz responsible for his half. What followed, bringing the timeline back to the romantic relationship ending.
Oh, is it because he hadn't already paid it and she was just funding everything?
Was Blair moving out to...
Because that makes sense.
...purchase her own home. Then, around August 2022, she sold this home to commission a new build. With Oz suffering financially and his house nearing foreclosure, Blair footed 6 months of mortgage payments. This was added to the unwritten ledger until December of that year, when Oz signed documents that recorded this debt as liens against his house. This matters because he gave her the power, if she wanted, to foreclose on Oz's house. It is also alleged that Blair told Oz that signing these documents would mend their relationship. By January 2023, she had moved out and moved into a rental while she waited on her new house to close, though she left some of her belongings to be retrieved later. It was then that Oz accessed her computer and found out that she was seeing someone else. It's difficult to ascertain what type of relationship they held, as Oz told a different employee of Blair's that she cheated. Oz even reached out to Wonder to inform him about what happened. These documents, as had been shown on screen, were retrieved, highlighted, and censored by the channel Mad Catster.
I was saying, why do these documents exist? Like, wait, what? Why do... Isn't this, like, personal business at this point?
Who redacted larger sections, whether due to personal information or the severity of what is being stated.
Like, private business?
When I first read the details of this, and I cried because it's just shocking.
What?
And that's all I'm going to say.
Oz was in an untenable position against Blair. Blair's channel from mid-2022 to 2023 was getting around 10 million views a month. With her frequent sponsorships, her earnings could be well over 6 figures. Oz's channel was getting...
what's a figure again? It's the amount of digits. Is it zeros? I can never remember if it's digits or zeros. I think it's... I want to say zeros. That's what it sounds like, but I think it's digits. So 6 digits. It'd be like 100,000 plus. I mean, that's a lot. You know, that's still a lot.
Most 200,000 views, or around 1/50th of Blair's. This was made worse when he shifted his efforts to work on her channel.
God, he looks like a girl, you know? Like, the shirt doesn't help.
And even this turned out to be an unstable position. That much would be true for anyone working under Illuminati. Blair had grown a reputation of producing half-decent video essays. She was someone who appeared compassionate, someone who cared about injustice. The question is, what happens when you turn all of this over and realize every aspect is not only false?
Damn, she wishes she looked like this.
But it is the opposite.
Like, this is like a Hollywood bombshell version of like her run through an AI. It's like how you get this.
Of what was being portrayed.
It's crazy.
What happens when the internet discovers something that looks innocent has been volatile the whole time? This is nitroglycerin. It feels slightly oily. It's slightly viscous. It tastes sweet. It appears unassuming. It is anything but. Nitroglycerin is a compound ready to explode.
Yeah, we used it before dynamite.
Initiates a chain reaction.
I'm sure you all know why we're here. We are gathered here today in what might be the most comprehensive deep dive that I've done to lay to rest once and for all the pyramid-shaped
What does this have to do with nitroglycerin? Oh, that was nice editing.
Explosions are a chain reaction.
That was good.
Follow the chain back to the catalyst. Nitroglycerin, hammer. Balloon, needle. And Illuminati, legal. On April 20th, 2023, Blair tweeted, quote, "Not at Legal Eagle editors broaching my editors to take my video style, and when they didn't give up the info, they literally copied it. And BTW, I have the messages from my editors and found an email from them too. Just changed the color from purple to blue. Huh.
I still don't know what the fuck is going on. I've never been so confused in any reaction video. Not even in that AI generated one. I'm pretty sure it was AI generated. I think I understood what was happening more in that one than this. Who are these people?
Interesting.
Who are you?
Unquote.
Who are you?
Below, Blair
What's going
posted
on?
the email in question. Except the email is asking about how to make lighter colors stick out. It was not even the same effect. Beyond these tweets pointing out how this is a non-issue, there was Legal Eagle's tweet stating that his channel had been using those two styles before she did. In his second tweet, 7 minutes later, Legal Eagle responds, quote, "I think this is a misunderstanding. Maybe don't assume ill intent next time."
I'll be honest, and I've said this in other videos. I tend to always assume someone's being malicious before I assume ignorance. That's not related to this, but I know so little of who anyone in this video is or what anything is or what's happening. I'm just latching on to anything I can.
Unquote.
Just like latch on to the first thing that works.
Popular content creator HBomberGuy responded with, quote, "I take plagiarism really seriously.
Well,
so
yeah,
I'm
it's illegal.
Interested in an explanation. What exactly is wrong here?" Unquote.
Professor Hugh Fudenberg.
Professor Fudenberg has long been controversial.
A man named Hugh Fudenberg, a former immunologist who has been long controversial.
In 1989, he was caught up in a bizarre lawsuit involving the Food and Drug Administration, which told him he had to stop injecting his autistic child patients with blood products.
Why do they do this for videos? Why do they drive while recording? Why would you do that?
In 1989, he was caught up in a bizarre lawsuit with the Food and Drug Administration, which told him he had to stop injecting his autistic patients with blood products.
That was from Blair's video on vaccines, spliced in with Brian Deere's documentary, the one she plagiarized. The way HBomberGuy discovered this was when he was making his own video on the subject, and while doing research, found that he had already seen her video, because he saw Brian Deere's documentary. He had been holding on to this information until now. This chain reaction led to The Click, Wonderstruck, Ozmedia, and One Topic all making Twitter threads about the dissolution of Sandmilk and Blair, exposing her manipulative tactics through spreading of rumors, vying for control, and attempting to pit one against each other. Wonderstruck even posted a photo of her room captioned with, quote, "She lives like an actual monster. Her home is a mess." Like,
that is not bad. Honestly, I've dated individuals that live in look how much room there is still, you know? I feel like most individuals I've met that I've seen their rooms looks way worse than this. That is not that bad.
Hoarder's bad. Unquote.
That's
this time,
that's
she had
light.
only lost 20,000
That's some pussy
subscribers
shit.
from April 20th to the 26th. The former Sandmilk cast made their tweets from the 23rd to the 24th. However, Blair posted a response video on April 28th. On her social blade were the following days. She had now not only actively put a magnifying glass on her previous poor actions, she had also flat out lied throughout the video and made her case worse.
Jesus Christ, like, are these my pixels I'm seeing, or are these the video's pixels? What is going on? Whose pixels are these?
The first topic was her apology.
Do I need a higher resolution? What's going on?
Then moves on to HBomberGuy's evidence of plagiarism, which she refutes. This is only 8 minutes into the video. The last 36 are on the former cast of Sandmilk. Here she apologizes for screaming at One Topic. Then, when discussing the click, she uses her entire hand. She talks about the click using slurs in the past and possibly present.
Who cares?
That was banned from his Discord, and a previous time.
Show me one person that has not said a slur. I've never met anybody that hasn't said a slur. Do you know how many slurs there are? There's things that the average person doesn't even realize are slurs, and they use them because in their cliques, it's like socially acceptable to use them. Everybody uses slurs.
I'm an admin of his showed porn.
It's totally normal.
And let me be abundantly clear here.
I am not trying to accuse the clique of pedophilia, nor do I have any reason to believe that he could be a pedophile. However, he cultivated an environment that was a breeding ground for inappropriate behavior with minors to occur.
Next on the chopping block was Wonderstruck. She brings forward their history while not mentioning her intention to be his landlord. She discusses how she repossessed the BMW.
All I understand from every time I have seen a video like this one is that you should never live with a content creator. Ever. And when you put two of them together, something terrible occurs.
Talks about the conflict between them and their dogs, and stated he was fired from...
Alright, whose pixels are these? Are you guys seeing these pixels? Is my monitor this low resolution? Like is the PPI really this low? Are you able to see these pixels? This is crazy.
Meeting deadlines, while also
what
not
is going
mentioning
on?
He was fired before his deadline extension. The last bit about Wonder airs out his mental health with the angle of showing it out of concern, and then she addresses the images of the messy room.
Furthermore, the photo he shows is a photo of a room that wasn't lived in by anyone in the house.
Finally, Blair discusses Oz, disappointed that they could not mend the relationship, and while grateful at all that he had contributed and the memories they made, she expresses that that ship has sailed.
I am disappointed in my behavior, and I hope that I can learn from all of this. I want to own up to my faults and take responsibility for my actions. Furthermore, I want to take responsibility for my own involvement with a crowd I am happy to no longer associate with.
It's good acting.
Sad Milk. The invested time, money, energy, everything had its returns paid in red. As Blair had escalated this drama to YouTube, the former members released responses to this in not so quick succession. On May 2nd, the clique uploaded his response, clarifying that he was asleep when the Predator was banned from his Discord, his lack of understanding of the culture around slurs in the English language, and Blair's part in it all.
Before we move on, I'm just gonna point out some funny hypocrisy. She said she would never be friends with someone that used that language, yet she regularly played games with me as a friend during this time, where I allegedly kept on saying these things. Which one is it? I don't think you can have both.
Revealed in this video was not only Blair's actions of paying an employee $200 to find instances of cliques saying slurs.
He's got googly eyes on the mic.
But also her alt account attached to the campaign.
Technically asking them to leave, I guess. It's probably
Still
worse.
I don't
Going back
understand.
to the rumor machine, here's the same chat
What's
room
going
again.
on?
Here is the same account,
What's the big
Dubischmarks
deal?
on Twitter. This was an account I remember distinctly from 2020,
It sounded like you
2021
said a cunt.
that was relentlessly
That was
harassing myself, my friends, my colleagues, my streaming colleagues, past colleagues,
This guy's got a great presenter voice, dude. Like he's got a great he got a great EQ, I'm assuming. He got a great EQ.
Community member stat, you name it. You name it.
On May 11th, Wonderstruck released his video, which was more than twice as long as the cliques. It was here that he discusses his history with Blair, from Sandmilk, moving in with her and Oz when they were together, to eventually trying to become her tenant, to him getting fired and getting the BMW repossessed, and more recently the airing out of his mental health. It is important to note that Blair also stated that Wonderstruck was fired because of an inappropriate forum comment.
And the comment I made was supposed to be grounds for termination. I'd like to reiterate that means a total loss of income to a person. This was along the lines of the comment that I made. If I could be an animal for a day, I would be a furry, and my favorite food would be ass.
What?
Before ending the video with an interview with Oz, Wonder clarifies how messy Blair was and that the one photo shared was not of an isolated incident.
I feel like they're all for like it's not everything, but like I feel like 90% of what everybody here is complaining about, everyone, not just her, not just them, literally all of them are non-issues. This is just a video of a bunch of content creators insulting each other. Aside from like the repossessing of the car and shit like that. This is just a bunch of insults. Like we're just trading shit right now.
These are the living conditions of Oz Media's home after Blair moved back in. Conditions he was embarrassed by. Boxes, trash, cups of mold, all sent to me again 2 years after I left Colorado.
I even remember on my 22nd birthday, I had asked like, hey, can we please get like the kitchen and living room?
I'm starting to think these are my pixels. I think 82 PPI is not good enough. I probably need a new monitor.
cleaned up so we actually have like a space to exist.
It's crazy.
That was,
Never
like,
noticed
my
this.
birthday present for that year.
While there were no additional response videos in May, coverage of Blair had picked up tremendously. She was kicked out of one of the podcasts she was part of and made a community post stating that she was taking these allegations seriously. By that, she means sending a cease and desist to Oz and Wonderstruck.
You live like a slob. I'm taking these allegations seriously. Like, what? It just sounds like they're being a bunch of dickheads, you know? I feel like everybody involved here is just being a dick to each other. This is just some drama. You know, this is like some high school drama. It's what it sounds like based on the 44 minutes that I have watched.
In June, One Topic made his own video on Blair, which was comparatively short. This existed more so to corroborate the other stories and establish his own.
Oh God, he's
the key
Canadian.
Point is corroboration. Blair had her claims against the former Sad Milk cast, but the Sad Milk cast had their own retorts and painted a clearer picture of what Blair claimed, and directly and indirectly supported one another against her. As possibly her only defense, she continued action on the legal front, filing a civil protection order against Oz and Wonderstruck, which failed to go through.
That's crazy.
Blair later tried restraining orders, which also failed to go through. Still in June, Cruel World released her video covering the aforementioned videos on.
I said she looked sort of hot earlier. This is awful. What happened?
Blair and her own history.
Looks like she went through like plastic surgery 3 times.
History with her. It is difficult to say what action
happened?
was the most destructive to her viewer base, whether it was her video or sending out the cease and desist. Whatever it was, viewership fell drastically, down 95% from April 2023 to August of the same year. Within this period, Blair was still posting regularly. From September 16th to August 1st, she earned $2,300. Now, this was not bad compared to your average YouTube channel, until you factor in that a year ago she made $47,000 in the same period last year.
Yeah. What, in half? Wait. Published from in the period of September 16th to October 1st in the same period a year later. Oh yeah, dude, that's in half a month you made still, I mean, you were making like 40, almost 8 grand, 47 and a half grand. That's crazy. In half a month? Half a month. Now in half a month, you're making 2,312. Look, I'm no mathematician, but that sounds like a heck of a lot of money for half a month, even then. Like if I made that much in half a month, I wouldn't even know what to do with it.
Year. Also not mentioned are the employees kept on payroll. This was hardly the only blow to her finances, as the legal fees she would incur would no doubt increase. But there was a solution.
Look, you could still live a very comfortable life, making just double that, right? Like basically $5,000 a month. What is that? That's like 60. That's 60 grand. You're making like 60 grand a year still. After, and you probably, hopefully, stockpiled all this other money from before. That's so good.
Oz's house to get some of the money.
To me, that seems so good. That's awesome.
This is why on September 16th, 2023, Oz made a video talking about the foreclosure, the GoFundMe to pay for it, and an upcoming video on Blair of sizable length.
I've put a lot of things in my life on hold to produce this video, ending up with nearly 110 pages of a manuscript which details as much of what I can.
That's,
and let me tell
that is a lot of work, assuming it's all individually typed words at font size like 11.
Tell you something. Converting this monstrosity into a video with its accompanying 1,000 screenshots has been one hell of a monumental task for me, a one-person team to embark on.
Though the GoFundMe will surpass the goal.
I feel like I could do that in like maybe a day or two. I don't know. But just judging by how that looked and how I've edited things in the past, I think at the very most, that could take me 3 days. And that's really exaggerating how long it could, like I'm exaggerating the length. That doesn't seem that bad.
Of $4,000, it would not be enough for the upcoming lawsuit. Oz was made aware of Blair's legal filings on September 27th. She was suing Oz Media, Wonderstruck, and a different employee known as Felix the Kit Kat, who was paid to dig up dirt on the clique, but also informed the clique of such actions. Though Blair's channel already appeared to be irrecoverable by late 2023, there were 2 aspects that solidified this. One was the ongoing lawsuit. Whether creators could work their way through controversies, Blair's ongoing lawsuit was a looming reminder of her controversies, one that has the added element of suing the weakest parties in what appears to be an act of revenge rather than redemption. This emphasizes the conflicting images of Illuminati, the righteous expose channel, and Blair, the litigious manipulator. The second aspect is more straightforward in the fact that her—
You know, I've never gone to a lawsuit, you know. Like, I've been to a court to just sign some papers, so it's not like the courtroom. I had to go to a courtroom once for something, but like, then we just hired a lawyer, and then he went instead, and then the other guy just didn't show up. And so the whole thing was dropped. And that was literally it. And it was some bullshit, too. I still don't know what's going on.
Her videos are passable.
Unless it's what I said, where this is just a bunch of randos shit-talking each other. I think it's just a bunch of randos shit-talking each other, honestly. I think that's what this video is about.
Exposed to that fact, it is harder
Once
to look
upon
at
a
them
time,
the same
a
way.
bunch of randos
It is this
talk shit
viewing
about
and
each
grander
other.
concept of plagiarism that H-Bomber Guy tackles in his video, Plagiarism and YouTube. While Blair's section is only around 40 minutes of his nearly 4-hour-long video, it hammers in the issues with Blair's content, demeanor, response video, and the problem with content mills like hers.
Blair watched a documentary and then downloaded it and used it to make her own. In the first 20 minutes, she plays a chunk of the documentary, or just quotes it, 25 times. More than once a minute, you're hearing something Brian Deere said, from his mouth or hers.
That was the same documentary that H-Bomber Guy covered in his video on vaccines, and the one he sourced his tweets towards Blair from. H-Bomber Guy's video sits at 36
I don't like
million
needles.
views. Being that Blair's section is relatively early on in the video, undoubtedly, many new people were given the tools to understand why her videos are poorly made. Only 3 days later, on his second channel,
Fucking
H-Bomber Guy
damn,
released
dude.
a 20-minute video.
Even the narrator is talking shit. Like we just got everybody talking shit.
Solely on Blair.
This is crazy.
This covers how her videos were sometimes built on misinformation, which makes the point of the video moot and damaging.
My God.
In similar fashion to how he exposed
What
Blair's
is that?
plagiarism of Brian
Oh my
Steele's
God.
documentary, he shows how she did it with documentaries covering the Fire Festival. This video, while receiving less viewership than his plagiarism video, was still more viewed than even her most viewed video, and through examining many of Blair's videos, he is correct. This is easiest to explain when starting from the beginning of her growth. These contain a selection of popular Reddit posts only tied together
MLM.
through the theme of the subreddit, and to that extent, her videos reading them. This format is so close to her video essays, it is almost unbelievable. To break this down, she gathers articles, videos, whatever is easiest to get on any given topic, and presents it with little to no connecting tissue or analysis.
Alright, so I just have this question 49 minutes into the video. It's a little different than my usual question of what the hell's going on. It's a little different. What's the problem exactly? What am I supposed to be focusing in on? Am I supposed to be focusing on something? I have no idea.
Practically
What's
sacrificing quality
Oh.
for the sake of faster uploads. A good example of this is her video titled The Myth of the Lazy Millennial.
Is this just Illuminati bad? Like, is that what I'm supposed to get from this? Because, I mean, I understand. But, like, is there something more?
And why Gen Z is next. In this video, Blair summarizes article after article, which are only loosely related to the subject matter. The video is attempting to dispel this myth, but for some reason, Blair is focusing on industries millennials are blamed for killing. And somehow, she contradicts her own sources.
Laziest generation, according to boomers of course, is trying its best to off the common 9-to-5 workflow that Dolly Parton sang against about 3 decades ago. And Dolly Parton is most certainly not a millennial.
That's
and that
some
song
plastic
seems to show
surgery.
that even she understands the 9-to-5 labor structure is bullshit.
Blair, in her sources page, links to this.
You know what? I don't, aside from everything else, you know, I agree with that. I think working 9 to 5 is stupid. How about we just get like a town square where you just go to the town square and there's like, here's a list of things that need to be done today. And then you just pick one and you do that one. And if you do it and you do it well, you get money. And if you don't do it, you don't get money. If you do it bad, you get less money, but you still did it, you know?
Page about the song 95, which explains the song
Or we could just have like robots do everything. That would be cool.
was about gender inequality. This video, like many of Blair's, are carried by article after article after article, and if one ends, then it's on to the next article, instead of
killing
treating any of
napkins?
these as a jumping off point into her own analysis. To add to the problem, she trusts and quotes sources blindly. Side note, Blair in her expose video states that her plagiarism of Brian Deere's documentary was an oversight, particularly in how she played a section of the documentary, only to then quote it without making it clear she was doing so.
Since then, I have learned to be much more overt and obvious with citations, something that may not have been perfectly clear to me 3 years ago. I apologize.
Who cares? Yeah, I'll quote whatever the fuck I want to quote whenever I want to quote it. Like, holy goddamn, what are we? Why are we acting like this is your senior research paper? What's going on?
For the oversight of not making that quote more clear.
In fairness, her vaccine video was several years ago, but the millennial video was only around 4 months before she made that statement, and lo and behold.
Interesting about these mechanisms, though, is that the better we see our past or the more we excel at certain traits, the more we tend to see the youth as deficient in those specific areas. For example, very intelligent people will perceive today's youth to be especially less intelligent. Well-read people will especially think today's youth don't like reading. And authoritarian people will think that kids these days are less respectful.
To clarify, Blair does add her own commentary, her own through line or message, but it doesn't work. This is Blair's conclusion to her video.
It's hard to put yourself in someone else's shoes, but maybe we should give it a try. There always seems to be just one little tiny thing missing: consideration.
Then this is her commentary from the very same video.
The laziest generation, according to boomers. The cliche became so widespread that millennials couldn't even attend a family holiday dinner without hearing from their overly opinionated uncle about how their sense of entitlement and their poor attitude was killing his beloved sport of golf. They know what things were like for them, but don't see how it's different for the younger generations. And spoiler alert, boomers inadvertently made it worse. It almost comes as no surprise then that millennials and Gen Z are treating the boomer generation the same way you'd treat an incessant know-it-all who's always trying to one-up you at every turn. They're just turning away and ignoring them.
This video is a hodgepodge of loosely related articles. It gives credence to divisive articles, but later acknowledges those articles are as such, but only after she had retorted in the same fashion. What's more, the video is
I still don't understand
video,
what I'm supposed to be focusing on.
Businesses. But it can be argued that it is business related. That argument cannot be made for this next video.
What is this titled?
Hello and welcome to the Corporate Casket, a semi-weekly series where bad businesses go to die. We will discuss any and
she had a downfall, and this is stuff she did. Okay.
From bad charities, terrible CEOs, and businesses that have a lot to hide. I'm the Illuminati, and today, unfortunately, we're going to be talking about...
Blair is talking about pedophiles in a series meant to cover corporations, but not just any pedophiles, MAPs specifically. There are large issues with the video's focus and some misspeaking, which is common in any video, but is strange in this one because she goes from pronouncing virtuous pedophiles correctly to calling them virtual.
They call themselves virtual pedophiles, or VERPED for short.
Even going against what the quote says on screen.
Why?
In regards to these virtual pedophiles entering the LGBTQ+ community...
What?
This video goes widely off topic to pedophiles in general.
AI?
The one tangent that seems to be going somewhere is just her alluding to the click situation before it came out.
As kind of an offset tangent, I remember there was someone I used to be friends with who ran a Discord server, and my friends and I found out that there was someone in that server who was above the age of 18, like explicitly talking about how they were in love or like in a relationship of some gross fucking variety with a 14-year-old. And then I stopped being friends with that person because that person wouldn't do anything about it. And they go, well, that's their personal life, like they can deal with it. And I was like, what the fuck?
In her own tangent, she even gets the timeline.
What do you actually do in that situation? Like, what are you supposed to just like call the cops? Because doesn't it have to go a little farther before it's illegal? Or do like what do you do? And what if you don't? What if all you know is the person's username? Like, do you actually do anything in that situation?
Discord fiasco took place in September 2020 when she stated she was proud of him. It was only after the click left a month later that she became hostile towards him. And before moving on, here is another example of spreading misinformation.
So, way back in his first few YouTube videos, he's given multiple tutorials on how to scam other RuneScape players out of their high-level armor. He himself has 3 separate tutorials on how to pull off these types of scams.
That is a video on Ice Poseidon. If she did minimal research into the game,
I've heard his name.
At the comments, or even
I don't know who
search
he
the
is.
value of the in-game items, she would have found in Scam Video 1, Ice is overpaying for the armor he is quote-unquote scamming. In Scam Video 2, he is making players open a chest for him. In Scam Video 3, he is trading rare gilded armor for basic rune. She fell for his ancient bait. In this same video, she states,
he was banned from Twitch altogether in
so she didn't watch
for
it.
having someone call in a bomb threat on a plane he was boarding.
This is also false. Ice Poseidon would have gone to jail if this were the case. What really happened was that he said his gate number on stream. This is all to say her videos are shallow in research, in her own interest of the subjects she covers.
Yeah, she just didn't read into it.
Analysis, if there is any to be found.
She's read the title.
At times can be taken quite literally.
But what about other storms? And why does this keep happening?
I don't understand the virtual one though. Like, how did you turn virtuous into virtual and they keep saying it? How'd that happen?
In this December 28th, 2023 video that is still up at the time of writing, Blair's narration cuts out for 5 minutes as H Bomber Guy pointed out on his Twitter.
How?
Past December 2023,
and it stayed up?
Anna would hit a new viewership low. Her monthly views were dipping below 200,000.
What is going on? Are you okay?
Prior, if a single video only got 200,000, it would be considered a failure. While one can attribute H Bomber Guy to this decrease, Blair only uploaded 5 videos in 2024.
This video a failure?
Is the more likely cause to this steep decline. With her channel now dead, the only evidence of her existence online would be the ongoing lawsuit. Month after month, there was very little in terms of updates. It was not until June 1st that there was a major update through Oz. In this just over hour-long video, Oz states that the lawsuit has cost $40,000 so far. This is why he launched a second GoFundMe. This was a legal fund for not just Oz, but also the other defendants involved in the case. Being that the legal process is slow, especially considering Blair's failures to substantiate her claims in
Can't you just get a public defender? Or is that just like so bad that like we don't want to do it, so we're just going to ask for money? I don't know.
Lawsuit, meaning that she had to continually amend her side, allowed only by a very generous judge. Overall, Oz describes the progress of the lawsuit and Blair's claims, and makes a clear intention that because of stressors in an outset lawsuit, settling would be optimal if they cannot get the case dismissed. This seemed to be more and more the case. They could not even get Felix's case dismissed, which was due to an alleged breach of contract when he came forward with the information that he was paid to dig up dirt on the click. Even though that happened before he signed an NDA, was employed by a separate company of hers, and it was arguable that the payment was not even a business transaction.
There's an extra space here.
Blair's lawsuit is absurd.
In 2020, Blair had revealed to me that she had used...
Wait, have we heard him speak yet? Jesus Christ, that is a deep voice for this face. What the fuck?
...used a service to scrub her Twitter of all and any inappropriate or cancelable language that she may have tweeted. Evidence of this can actually be found by the fact that there's a massive removal of tweets on a single day shown by her social
488,
blade. As
oh my
I've
god.
come to learn, that service that Blair used to mass delete tweets doesn't scan media or screenshots. Blair famously went after Click for using the R word 14 years ago. Blair at one point has stated that the word has never been in her vocabulary and that even with 10 years of time, it's inexcusable that he would use this word. Blair can be seen in this
what was that?
Using the exact word in question that she
Which one is it? Which one's the R word? Where? Which one is it?
And damns others for using. Only 3 years prior to her stating that word.
What's wrong with retarded? That's not what?
Was never in my vocabulary.
While Oz failed to link to this tweet,
there's nothing wrong with
very
retarded.
Much exists and is still up. The reason this lie and hypocrisy
Who gets offended by
is
retarded?
because of what Blair alleges in the lawsuit.
Blair asked Felix to find Mark Drek saying the R slur in Sad Milk's raw
Bro, if someone like you, like if this was me, and I'd be like, oh, you paid someone $200 to get footage of me saying retarded? Turn on your fucking camera, like retarded, 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 retarded. Like what? What kind of little pussy gets offended by that? What?
120. Defendant Felix then asserts that Blair,
That's so stupid.
though she publicly disapproves of the R slur, uses it in private.
R slur.
121. This statement carries a defamatory meaning because it implies that Blair is both a hypocrite and a bigot. Her words, not mine.
In a short update Oz released in October, Oz stated that the negotiations have failed, and the cost had inflated to $80,000. Even though the lawsuit had yet to enter discovery.
Oh my god.
Things were
Wait, discovery?
grim.
What does that mean?
Then there was one final update, released at the start of 2025.
Blair and I have agreed to settle this matter confidentially through mediation. The lawsuit has been dismissed against all parties without any admission of fault by any party. As a part of the non-disclosure agreement, it should be known that Blair will not be sharing her side of the story behind this dispute, nor will I. No one should contact either of us further about this case or ask us to comment on it, or each other, as I
guaranteed a journalist immediately went ahead and messaged both of them.
I've stated previously,
Guaranteed.
anyone following me should never make threatening remarks to anyone involved in this case in a public or private forum.
Of course they're going to do that. Why would they not do that? That's how the internet works. Everybody that says that knows that that is not going to have the intended effect. That's more like just planting the idea in someone's head. Like, oh, I should go do that now.
That was it. The lawsuit was over. But the truth is, Blair is still out there. And so is the belief that with her managerial skills, she could survive on the platform.
After that, she's going to start another channel using an AI voice model in order to keep doing these same kind of videos, but start fresh and hope people don't connect her to it. That's my guess. Because before all of this came to light, she was getting like 100 to 300k views per video.
This is Thinkology. It is her channel. Thinkology launched late 2021 and never picked up. The most popular video
out maybe Francis should try that.
47 got 67,000 views. This, compared to Illuminati, puts it in the bottom 12% of videos. And if compared by
bottom 12% of videos
by the top 3 that sits at 15,000 views, not a single video on her channel sits below that number. Blair began creating video essays in a time they were in high demand, and that demand was not being met. She cast a wide net with her wide range of videos.
I still don't know what a video essay is.
She was able to keep this audience, gaining more and more views, likely due to habit-forming viewership rather than the quality of her videos. But now with that momentum
what happened to Jilly
videos
Juice?
Cannot stand by themselves. Any video done on the same topic with any significant research or captivating perspective can overtake any of hers. There are channels that only upload once a year, if even that get over 1 million views monthly. Illuminati, even with a massive catalog of 644,000, barely reaches 100,000 a month.
Fuck.
The chances of her replicating her tremendous success now are unlikely.
Wait, she has 66k a month? How much do I have? I have 33.5k a month. I'm almost as good as her. Oh, I'm catching up, boys.
Elements of her initial success are no
Hell
longer
yeah.
there. Gone now, and possibly forever, was a job that earned her over $1 million a year. Blair was at the top only to be brought down.
Oh my god, how many years did you do that? Wait. Yeah, whoa. Ooh, that's so good.
She set, the people she tried to control, and the history she tried to erase.
I mean, dude, alright, so like, I still don't know what the fuck this is about. Like, who these people are. Here's my thoughts. Out of all of the videos like this that I've seen exposing someone, this is like the tamest one out of literally all of them. Like, every person in here sounded like they were doing something dickish. This just seems like a bunch of, I don't know, drama? A bunch of content creators and their drama. That's literally what this seems like. It didn't really seem like a big deal. But, you know, that was an hour. I hope you enjoyed this hour. If you want to see me react to anything, leave it in the comments below. If it's a link, put it in the Discord in the description below. This was a suggestion. Let's get to more suggestions, right? For now, though, thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.